Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of a new thing I'm trying to do, where we go over the grade 9 Ontario Math curriculum from the very start to the very end. In this first lesson, we talk about the development of numbers and number sets. Let's just begin with some examples of some number systems. Some examples of number systems are stuff like the integers, right? Which is all of the whole numbers, like 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on this way, and also the other way, the negative direction, right? These are what we call the integers. There is also the natural numbers, which, depending on your class, may or may not include 0. But this is typically how they are. They're just all the non-negative numbers. The natural numbers. We also have the rational numbers, which is anything that can be shown as a fraction, right? So like 1/2 or 2/3 or even 1, right? Because 1 can be shown as just 1 over 1. Anything that can be shown as a fraction, so there's infinite of them, are the rational numbers. Then there are the irrational numbers, which we won't go into too much detail on, but basically they are numbers that cannot be shown as a fraction. So something like pi, right? Since pi has an infinite number of digits, there's no pattern that can be represented by a fraction that it follows. So pi is an irrational number. Something like the square root of 2 is an irrational number. And there are a bunch more. Won't be focusing on that too much. And the last one that I really want to talk about is the real numbers, which is everything else that you guys know, because there is more beyond this, but it's not really relevant. So the real numbers include all the integers, all the natural numbers, all the rational numbers, all the irrational numbers, all combined into a single thing. So now we're going to talk about some different subsets that come from these number systems. Like if we had the integers, right, which is what we had, like the negative, like goes infinitely in both directions, we could technically take the odd integers only as a subset. So if we take the odd integers only, -3, -1, 1, and 3. So we'll go infinitely, so you had like 5 and 7 and so on, right? This is called a subset. It takes certain elements from the original set, but not all of them. It creates a new set with its own properties and stuff. Like we would even take the even integers instead, right? And we could have like -4, -2, 0, 2, 4, and so on, right? These are both subsets. A subset is a collection of items taken entirely from another larger collection. And in this case, where we're saying collection, we're talking about the integers. We're taking certain values from the set of the integers, but not all of them, right? Taken from another larger collection. Another subset of the integers is the prime numbers, right? Prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers that only have two factors, themselves and 1. It's the only way that you can multiply to get them, right? So if we have all of the numbers, well, a whole bunch of them, what numbers multiply to get 1, right? 1 is only equal to 1 times 1. That only has one factor, so it is not a part of the prime numbers. 2 can only be multiplied by 2 times 1, which means 2 is a prime number. 3 is equal to 3 times 1. There's no other way to multiply to get it. So 3 is a prime number. 4 is equal to 4 times 1, but also you can do 2 times 2. So 4 is not included. And so on. You can keep going. 5 is included. 5 times 1. 6 is not. Because you have 6 times 1, but you also have 3 times 2. That's too many. You can do 7 times 1. That's the only way to get it. So 7 is one of the numbers. 8 is 8 times 1, but also 4 times 2. So you don't include that one. 9 is 9 times 1, but also 3 times 3. I'll include that one. 10, 5 times 2. 10, 10 times 1. Can't include that one. 11 is only 11 times 1. And it keeps going on from there. But this is also a subset of the integers. There's also the composite numbers. The composite numbers are numbers that have more than 2 factors. So if we list out the numbers again, right? We know all the prime numbers have exactly 2. So none of the numbers that we found were prime will work, right? And they have to have more than 2 factors. So a number like 10 has 1, 10, 5, and 2. So 10 would be included. 9 has 1, 9, and 3, because 3 times 3. 8 has 1 times 8, 4 times 2. So that one would also work. 6 has 1 times 6, and also 3 times 2. 4 has 1 times 4, and also 2 times 2. So that has enough. 1 still only has 1 times 1, which means it actually isn't composite or prime. The only integer like that. Here's our composite numbers: 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and so on. If we go back a little bit and we think about all of these sets, right? If the real numbers contains all of them, that means all of these are subsets of the real numbers. Since the real numbers is a larger collection than all these other ones, the subsets, the integers, the natural numbers, the rational numbers, the irrational numbers, all belong to the real numbers. They're all just subsets of the real numbers. Another subset would be the triangular numbers. These numbers are a little trickier. This is how many, like, these are the numbers where you can form a triangle out of that many dots. So just as a couple examples, we'll look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll see if we can make a sort of triangle out of them. If we have 10 dots, right, we can form a triangle like this. 10 dots makes a sort of triangle shape. So 10 is valid. If we remove a dot from this triangle, like this dot right here, it's not a triangle anymore. So that one doesn't work. So 9 is not a triangular number. If we remove another dot, still doesn't work. Remove another dot, still doesn't work. If we remove another dot, and we're left with 6 dots, then again we can remove this whole bottom row, just to immediately get our next answer. It should be 3 with this next row. This is barely a triangle, but it still counts. So 1 is also one of them. So 1, 3, 6, and 10, and then it can keep going up. They're all spaced out one more than each other, right? We start off with just 1 dot, right? Start off with just 1 dot at the top. Then we have to add 2 dots. Then we have to add 3 dots. Then we have to add 4 dots. Then we have to add 5 dots, which means the next one would be 15. 6 dots. Next one would be 21, and so on. You just keep adding 1 more dot. So then you add 7, so you get 28. These triangular numbers are actually the subset of the whole numbers, which is generally more consistent than the definition of the natural numbers, because it always includes 0. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it keeps going on forever. Whereas the natural numbers, it depends on who you ask if they include 0. These triangular numbers are a subset of the whole numbers. Another subset of the whole numbers are the perfect squares. We can take this list of numbers again. 1, 2, 3, 0, 4. The perfect squares are the numbers where when you square a whole number, it's the number you get. So if we do 0 squared, You do 0 times 0, which is 0. 1 squared is 1 times 1. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And then you can keep going on from there. This is also a subset of the whole numbers. Okay, so if a subset contains 5, what are some other possible characteristics of that subset? It could just be a set that only contains 5, right? That could be the whole thing. It could be all the multiples of 5. So we could have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on, right? We could go both directions. We could have 0 included in there, right? We could have 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We could even have the negative stuff in there too, right? Negative 15, negative 10, negative 5, 0, 5, 10, 15, infinitely in both directions. We could also just have a subset that contains, that's like a subset of the whole numbers that just contains 5 and 7. Right? This is a subset too. All of these are possible. You should try to come up with some of your own and see what kind of ideas you can come up with from this. As a final little note, draw a little diagram. On the very inside, generally, depending on who you ask, you have the natural numbers, which don't include 0. Unless they do. It just depends on who your teacher is, who you're asking, but for this example, they don't include 0. The next step up would be the whole numbers, which does include 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The next step up would be the integers, which, as said before, includes the negative and the positive direction. The next step up from that would be the rational numbers, which are all the numbers you can represent with a fraction, right? 1/2, still the whole numbers are in there, 0 is in here, 3/16 is in here, anything you can have with a fraction. Then we have another bubble over here, which are the irrationals, which is things that you can't represent with a fraction. Pi, square root of 2, a bunch of other things. Then you have the whole outside, which contains everything, which is the real numbers. Thank you for watching this video. The next video should be out pretty soon. We'll cover stuff like patterns, density of numbers, and stuff like that. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you next time.